Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and today we're going to be checking out this week's event for Idle Heroes. We've got a big change coming up to a Soul Awakening session and a Gala, and this is the first Gala since Black Friday, so we're expecting a lot of people to use their B-, B, and B+ stones that they picked up during Black Friday, which means we will see a massive influx of heroes into the auction house. That's going to have a massive impact on auction house sales, probably for the next few months. As well, Christmas is coming next week, so I'll talk about what to prepare for that, and as well we'll be looking at this week's event and letting you guys know whether it's worth investing your resources this week. Before we do all that though, let me remind you about Patreon. It's a way to support the content I make here financially, and in return get yourself some privileges through our Discord server, so make sure you join our Discord. You can find a link in the description, and that includes all information for those rewards, such as account reviews, so make sure you read all the information in there. And if you are interested in backing me on Patreon, you can find a link up there in the top corner of the screen. A shout out goes to all the great people that decided to back me this week. We have Ridge, we have Young Runup, we have Joshua, we've even got ourselves Jin Ho Shui, and yeah, that's quite a lot of people that have decided to back me on Patreon, so a huge thank you to you guys. And if you want to be like them and get a shout out in the next event review video, why not go ahead and check out my Patreon page. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out this week's event for Idle Heroes and see if it's worth using your resources in this week's event. So, every day for logging in, you're going to get yourself 5 sweet lollipops, which you can use in the Fantasy Factory, and also a Profit Orb. So these will help you to make progress this week, as we do have a Profit Orb event. Now, at the top of this week's event, we have a Soul Awakening session, and this is basically a huge leaderboard for the Soul Awakening Gala this week. Whoever gets the most points on this leaderboard will get themselves some crazy rewards. And if people get enough points where we go ahead and unlock the Wonder of Immortal, what that'll mean is, first of all, we've managed as a community to do 20,000 points in total across the top 10 idlers. That means they need to have done 2,000 points each. That is going to be super duper easy. What is going to be crazy about this though is the people that go ahead and choose to invest in that, well, the top 10 will get themselves an S tier hero or higher. Number 1 gets a triple S. That's ridiculous. The people who are in the top 100 get an A- or higher. We've never seen that before. Normally it's the Wonder of Brilliance, where it's the top 50 that get an A-. So if we get to Wonder of Immortal, that's ridiculous, and it means whoever gets to 200 points in this week's Soul Awakening Gala, which you can find right down here, if you get 200 points in just this, you will get yourself a B+ stone. That is fantastic, as B+ stones have an increased chance of getting you an A-. So if I go and show you in the Soul Temple what those odds are, you might be extremely surprised. I'm not actually going to go ahead and do this, but you can see there's a 3.5% chance of getting an A-, there's a decent chance of getting an A, and an even better chance of getting an A+. So there's a very strong likelihood you could pick up a decent A-tier hero, and given a lot of people are going to be getting those B+ stones from the Wonder of Immortal, it means a lot of A-tiers are going to get summoned. Not to mention, the top 100 will all get a guaranteed A-tier as well. That's going to mean, after this event, a massive flood of A-tiers into the market if people open those B stones straight away. If people open those B+ stones straight away, which I imagine a lot of people are going to do. We already saw a massive crash on the back of Black Friday, so I'm expecting prices of A-tiers to completely bottom out. We've already seen some ridiculous price drops. If you go ahead and take a look at an Alamac, they're selling for a ridiculously cheap price right now. If I just filter for A-, A's, and A+, they're going for as low as 8,000 on a bid, 10,000 buyout. That's ridiculous. I've seen people buying Asmodeels for even cheaper than that. We see some copies going for way cheaper than this. This is an absolute rip-off. We see copies here selling for 7,000, 8,700, 9,600, 8,000 again. Really cheap prices for A- Asmodeels. As well, there's other heroes that are getting really cheap. Look at the big two, that's going to be Aspen and Vulcan, and these are the main ones that people are going to be awakening, and you can see Vulcan's price has dropped way below 20,000. You can pick up a pretty decently priced one there. In fact, there's one selling there for less than 15,000, which is crazy. And if you go ahead and look at Aspen there, a bidding price of 17,500, and some Aspens with a buyout price as low as 21,000, sometimes 23,000. This one here, 20,000. So Aspen is getting to a point where he's even dropping below the 20,000 threshold, and that one there sold for 12,620. These prices are crazy. So I expect this to stay at this low and maybe even get lower on this massive flood as A minuses, because people are going to compete with each other to sell, so it's going to drive the prices down. That is really good if you're looking to get into this game, and makes A- heroes more accessible than ever. It means budget players or people that have just been slowly stockpiling their starry gems, or even just an early spender who can just come in and spend for a decent Moonlight gift event, right? Let's say a Moonlight gift event comes that already gives you some starry gems. You'll probably only have to spend 200 or 300 bucks, and you can pick up an A- Lord of Fear Aspen. That's ridiculous, because you can then sell him later on, and then you're fine. It's as if you didn't spend that money at all. So very cool that they're making this a possibility for us, and we're just going to see more and more often now that A- are going to become far more regular, and people are going to be able to pick them up much more easily moving forwards. So all in all, this is really, really good for the community. Now, what does that mean, though, for this week's event? What should you go ahead and do? Well, I'd strongly discourage you from actually chasing the Soul Awakening session. I think leave it to the whales. Why, when the market's going to crash, would you ever try and get yourself an A- hero? Just buy the one you want when the market's cheap. Just wait a few weeks. I promise you, it'll be much easier to pick one up then. So don't go wasting your starry gems on Awakens, guys. I think we're going to see some real cool price drops. As well, the orange sweetness, this is from last week. This is coming to an end, so make sure you pick up whatever you need. I'm going to be grabbing some Starspawn Core 5s, as I will be needing these, so I'm going to grab them for my account right there. That does leave me with a little bit of stuff left over, so I'm probably best just going ahead and spending that on scrolls. That's me happy. I got 70 of these things left, so I'm just going to go ahead and spend that on Spirit too, and yeah, that's me happy with a ton of stuff. Nice. Now, if we go to the value packages for this week, these are giving gems, profit orbs, and sweet lollipops. I don't think this is worth actually investing in. Why would you? There's nothing really exciting about this. And we have just a normal profit orb event. There's no crazy rewards attached to this, apart from a little something at the end. But I promise you, that's not going to really make buying these value packets worth it. So I don't think this is worth spending your money on. We've got a Lollipop Factory package. This is a bit weird. It's $100. It's giving you 2,500 Prism Starry Gems, 70 Profit Orbs, 35 Sweet Lollipops, and the ability to Quick Smash through the Lollipop Factory. I don't think that's worth it either. You're getting double Honey Stars and a ×5 bonus to the Starlight Melody. What that actually means, let's go show you the Starlight Melody, is you're going to be getting yourself some Profit Orbs, which is nice, and you're going to get yourself a lot of Honey Stars, because you get double rewards from the Fantasy Factory, and that's doubled Honey Stars. So you'll be able to use more Honey Stars, and for every 3 Honey Stars, you'll get a point. And then, of course, those points are times by 5 if you buy that pack. So there's a chance you get a lot of points here. What do those points do? Well, every 100 points is going to get you one of these chests, which is 5,000 Spiritual Essence and 15,000 Style Shards, plus 15 Master's Toolboxes. And if you get to 200 points, every time that happens, you're going to get the same again, but with a different Transcendence chest here at the start. 300 points, that's getting you the newer Transcendence chest, and that contains heroes up to Betty. What does that mean for us? Well, it means that if you're a super heavy spender that plans on chasing the Soul Awakening session, you can use this as a way to get yourself some Transcendence copies. So that's quite useful. It also means there's no fancy chest giving Sublimation, Cause of Origin, any Divine Power resources, none of that stuff. So I don't think it's worth anyone who's a free-to-play player going and spending a ton of Profit Orbs and chasing in the Fantasy Factory, using all their stuff. I don't think that's worth it. What I would do personally as a budget player or free-to-play player is get to a point in the Fantasy Factory where you've done this enough times, where you've used your shapes, gone ahead and cleared these hexagons, go ahead and spend your stars, and you'll just be able to get gold, spirit, then you'll be getting Celestial Island resources, and then some Aurora stars, and keep going down until you get to the 9-star puppet. By that point, you should have spent 450 Honey Stars. That's going to get you 150 points from here. I would then use 50 Profit Orbs. 50 Profit Orbs in the Profit Orb event is going to get you your standard stuff. You get Light Hero, a Dark Hero, and more importantly, 5 Soul Symbols. You might want to push to 60 if you want to get yourself a Core of Transcendence as well, but I wouldn't go any further than this. I'm just in it for the Soul Symbols here. And what that will get you is exactly 200 points, which is enough to get yourself 15 Master's Toolboxes from the 200 chest, and you get 2 100 chests, which is another 30. So you're getting 45 Master's Toolboxes just for playing the game, and using 50 to 60 Profit Orbs. That's pretty fine, and I think that's a perfect thing to go ahead and invest in. So that would be my encouragement to budget players. Is I think this is just an opportunity to use Profit Orbs, get some Soul Symbols, and call it a day. That would be my advice this week. As well, we've got a Soul Contract here. That's a way of getting 100 Contract Starry Gems. So you need to put 6 stars from each faction in here. So my Bloodblade, for example, my Ice Blink, I can put them in, exchange them, and I can get myself 100 Contract Starry Gems in return. Also, you need to summon some 5 stars this week. You need 3 light 5 stars, 3 dark 5 stars, and 5 in every other faction. That's going to be getting you heroic summons, that's going to be getting you prophet orbs, and you'll get sweet lollipops as well. So all that stuff is going to be helpful to get yourself the top reward, which is a Betty, along with all these resources here as well. So that's nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. We've got a fantasy factory, we've got this Starlight Melody, which combines all the stuff together to get you Master's Toolboxes and Stellar Shards, and it all seems pretty nice. Now, one thing for people really wanting to understand the true value, if you do buy this Lollipop package, you are spending $100. However, if you did decide to go ahead and take advantage of this ×5 bonus, you would need to get 900 points to max this. That means you'll need to use a heck of a lot of Prophet Orbs to counteract the fact that your Honey Stars, obviously, you're going to be getting some of those too spent, but you're not going to be able to max this just off Honey Stars alone, unless, of course, you just start deciding to buy value packs and making tons of progress with your sweet lollipops. I wouldn't encourage you to do this, so if you are just buying that pack, you are going to have to use a lot of Prophet Orbs to top this out. Now, if you do have Prophet Orbs sitting around and you do want to do that, you will potentially be able to get yourself 1 million Stellar Shards just from doing this, plus a ton of Spiritual Essence as well. It's probably about 330,000 Spiritual Essence. It's pretty nice. And as well, you are getting 2,500 Starry Gems from the pack. I don't think that's necessarily worth spending $100 on this week, though, unless you are just used to spending that kind of money freely. I think if you are going to spend, you're much better saving for next week's event, and that's Christmas. For this, I want you guys to save gems. I want you to make sure you've saved a ton of heroic summon scrolls, and actually, if you do plan on spending, there's going to be some crazy packs next week, so I would strongly encourage you guys to save for this. We're going to see YORM-TUM turned into a Transcendence hero. We've got a hero exchange event that's giving you the 3 first Dark and 3 first Light Transcendence hero copies available for you in the altar. And of course, we've got a Palace of Eternity and Palace of Crystal, will let you pick any hero in the game and get them as a reward for next week. Tons of rewards are expected at Christmas. You'll be able to get a lot of heroic summon scrolls. You'll potentially pick up tons of contract or prism starry gems as well. They're probably going to make it so we can pick up star spawn cores. There'll be sublimation. There'll be destiny improvements. There'll be tons of stuff available for you guys. A lot of that for free-to-play players as well. So if that excites you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I will be giving you the full Christmas event in its entirety in a review next week, so make sure you join us for that one. And we're expecting to see a load of awesome rewards. So keep saving, keep getting your stuff ready, and just go ahead this week and enjoy that gala. Now, if you're a free-to-play player and you want to know how to maximize your progress in this gala, let me tell you now, it's best to get to 300 points. 300 points gets you an Essence Sublimation chest or a Core of Origin Shard selection chest. This is really good for you to grab. However, you'll only get there if you're able to do 50 to 55 awakens, and that's typically how many you'll need to get all the points required, because on average you're going to get E's and D's, and that's typically around 6 points for each of those that you do. Now, if you're super duper lucky, or just super duper intelligent, you've saved your B-, B's, and B+ stones from Black Friday if you had any of them. They're going to make it a lot easier, because if you go ahead and use those, first of all, you'll get a ton of points. So if you look in the cool events and the Soul Awakening Gala, you get a lot more points for B-tier heroes, 12, 13, and 14 points respectively. If you get an A-tier, you can even get even more. However, what's more important about that is you can go to the Soul Temple as well, and let's say you get a copy that's not very good. Most people might want to go ahead and sell it, but maybe you want contract story gems. So instead, you can destroy the copy and get yourself contract story gems. And for B-, B's, and B+, you're getting 300, 600, and 1800 respectively. And remember, every awaken is 1000 contract story gems, so a single B+ could get you 18 more awakens, which could make it considerably easier for you guys to get that Essence Sublimation chest. Now, in total for the Gala, you are going to have around 3,500 to 4,000 contract story gems saved up. That might be a little bit less if you're sitting on those B stones, but generally you want to get to 300 points to get the most out of this. So if you plan on just getting to 200 and stopping, just so you can get the B+ here in the session, I do not think that's worth it. I would go ahead and push all the way to 300 so that you can make sure you've got yourself this top reward here, because Essence Sublimation and Core of Origins are necessary to maximize the power of your Transcendence heroes and also allow you to unlock the chance to make them into Destiny heroes as well. So get that stuff for the top rewards. Hopefully you guys will also be able to get yourself an artifact from here, and you get some other options such as an Essence Sublimation chest too here. So a lot of good stuff here to definitely help you make progress. So do that if you've got the contract story gems, and hopefully you save those stones to maximize your progress this week. But of course, if a lot of people are doing that, we're going to see a massive drop in the auction house. So if you've got normal story gems, you might even be able to pick yourself up a really sweet bargain either this week or the weeks to come. So best of luck, guys. I hope you guys get the most rewards out of this week's event and the future weeks we'll see. And yeah, Christmas is super close. So hit that subscribe button for more information on that and what's best to do, and whether you want to find out if Yhorm Transcendence form is any good. Folks, I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in, and of course, have a good week, and happy idling.